Why is it that most fathers fail at fatherhood? Why do you fail at fatherhood? Most fathers do who grew up fatherless, and fatherless has many different definitions. I don't want to get sidetracked on that. That's another episode coming soon. But here's what I do know. If you're failing as a father, it's not your fault. It was imposed upon you. But you are responsible to do something for it. Most fathers fail at fatherhood because they don't have a plan to build, to grow, to learn. They don't have skills or disciplines, and they don't spend time developing themselves in the right place in the right way. I want to ask you again, are you failing as a father? This is Barry with FatherSeekers. And this is the podcast, Teach Me to Father. Who's the designer and the architect of your blueprint, your fatherhood blueprint? Who is the designer and the architect? Two very distinct, different people. Designer, architect. That makes all the difference in the world, because if we are doing our own thing, creating our own show, we are going to be in trouble, because there's lots that we don't know about fatherhood, and we need to get the plan, the blueprint, the ideas, the concepts, the tools. We have to get them from a reputable source. We have to seek a builder with experience and reputation and a good track record. I don't know if you have ever had this experience. I sure have. But I have contracted with people before who promised to do a state-of-the-art job and did less than D- work. You have to have builders with experience, reputation, and track record. If you don't, you, like me, will run into trouble, and it costs time and money. And I would also add, it takes a great deal of energy out of you, because building fatherhood, building your skill sets to be a great father to your kids, building your fatherhood, that's important. And you don't want to make mistakes, although we will. But if we can avoid them, it's surely a good idea to do that. So that's why we're looking for reputable builders with track records, great builders who build great houses that are functional and worthy of use. Always have a well-designed plan around the needs of their customer that they're selling to, that they're building for. They don't just build a house that they like. They want to build a house for the needs and the specifications of the customers that hire them to build the house. Great builders don't just use haphazard material. They use really high quality, high-end material, even if it costs a little more. But especially when you're doing the finishes, the little extra money in the bathrooms and the kitchens and the high traffic rooms, a little bit more money spent, it makes a wonderful house. And that's why I'm asking you, who is the designer and the architect of your blueprint? We have to build things right or they won't work. We can't use secondary or second-rate material because it's not good. It doesn't finish well. Like if you've ever been in a really nice home and the builders cut corners, say on the trim work, like the finishing trim work, doors and molding, baseboard, and all the nice little extra built-in bookcases, if they cut corners and used really cheap stuff or grade C level stuff, you can sure tell it right off the bat, and it just takes away from the building. So when we're talking about great builders who are not only reputable and they not only understand the need of the person they're building the house for, but they also use the materials. And I might also add the personnel who can apply it and install it properly so that it lasts and it looks really good. God has a blueprint for your fatherhood and for mine. And when we begin to examine and explore and then discover that plan, we will find peace in it. We will find peace in the hard work we will do is based on a plan that God has for us. Here's the story. All of work, all of life's work is difficult sometimes. But I would rather be working in difficulty and challenge and perhaps a storm here and there if I'm following a blueprint because I know that I'm doing the right thing at the right time with the right material in the right place. I know that it's proven plan. I know that it's proven design. And I know that as I build things God's way, He is going to be involved and engaged and teaching me by His Holy Spirit how to be a good dad, a builder that we can count on, a builder that's reputable and that's qualified to build. I don't know what your theology is about the Holy Spirit, but I will tell you that not only is He, Jesus said, He is our counselor and our guide and our teacher, and He is the one that walks along beside us, but we're charged as godly men to stay in step with the Spirit. And when we're doing that, even the hard work becomes easy. It requires energy and strength and stamina and time, but even in the hard work and we're in step with the Spirit, we know that we're building something worthy of time and our engagement and our strength and our energy that will last for ourselves, for our children, and our children's children. And it will be a place of protection and a place to live and to understand who God is and how to live their lives in that way. Finding the best builder that your money can buy, or are you going to DIY it? Do it yourself. Now, there's some things that some of us can do ourselves if we follow the plan, if we follow the design, if we follow the instructions on the specifications and materials to be used in the finishing materials. Have you ever walked in a house and it was absolutely gorgeous and it smelled great, it was built well, but you looked at the finished plumbing fixtures and they were economy grade? Oh my goodness. Horrible. Have you ever walked in a really high-end house and the sinks were second rate and not high-end? Or perhaps the toilets were not the tall ones, but the short ones, economy grade? See, when we build a house, we want the best that we can afford for our families. But here's the beauty about building a house, our fatherhood house, God's way. He not only is the builder, He not only is the strength, He is not only the director and the blueprint creator, but He provides the materials, the strength for us to do it, the instruction. And when we do, when we do make a mistake, He is there to help us. And when repairs need to be made, He is there to help us. And He sends us qualified people. There's no such thing as doing it yourself, building your own fatherhood, because we can't do it on our own. Every man needs assistance. He needs a team of qualified, experienced people to help him build his house. That's why you will hear me say, we need a brotherhood. We need a group of 3 to 5 men who walk with us, who we can call at 3 a.m. and they come. We can trust them with our secrets that they walk with us through to get redemption and strength and to overcome. We have specialists who help us do the tricky things in building our fatherhood, that understands intricate details that most people don't understand. You could call that a mentor or a coach, somebody that specializes in helping you build your fatherhood in such a way that it is beyond anything you could ever do on your own. I've been in some DIY houses before with people who knew they could build something, but the end result, the product, the final product was horrible. It was shoddy. The roof leaked and the doors were crooked. Look, we need experienced specialist people, men who are not just experienced, but their experiences have been not only qualified, but they've been evaluated well so that the gold can be pulled out of those experiences and can be shared with others. Now, why? Why is a blueprint so important? Here's the one singular reason. Aside from it's God's original design, here's the one singular reason why building your fatherhood with God's blueprint is absolutely important. It cannot be done otherwise. Here's why. It's because of legacy. Legacy is what we build throughout of our lives by default, and it's what we leave behind for our children when we die. What are you going to leave behind? Will it be a legacy, a godly legacy, a fatherhood that pointed your kids and your wife and your family and your friends to God? Not perfect, not flawless, but godly. A legacy that stands the test of time because it was built with the fatherhood blueprint that God created. Now, how we handle and steward this time that we have, how we steward what's going to be left behind, is absolutely crucial, because the building blocks and pieces that we put in place now will be used by our family in the future. Far beyond our existence on this earth, it will stand the test of time. It will outlast us and our children's children if we do things right. Generations will be affected and changed, and people will know that you had an effect and a direct influence on the ancestry and the genealogy of your great name. But more importantly, that we have in all of that the name of God lifted high, not only the foundation and the materials and the designer of the blueprint, but his hand is upon us and he is our Father. So I would ask you again, what will you leave behind? What is it that you are building now that has generational legacy to it, that is memorable and godly, and that influences generations to come? Here's the reality. By default, we create legacy. By default, we leave behind legacy. What will you leave behind? Will you leave a good name? My grandfather told me, he said, son, you have two things that are more valuable than anything in life. One is your character, and the other is your great name. What you do with those two will affect everybody, not only now, not only in this life, but in the life to come, and it will affect those who you leave behind when you die. Your good name and your character. I would ask you again, what are you designing and building What are you doing building according to God's blueprint right now? Or are you doing a DIY project? You know, when people do DIY projects, they think that they can save a little money and do it just as well as a professional. But we all know that's not true, because when that happens, usually the professional, the qualified, the skilled, the experienced have to come back in and tear out what the DIY guy did and put it back together again properly with new material that's suitable for the repair and for the function of that great building. God's blueprint is the requirement for us to build a fatherhood that when our kids and their children's children look back on us and our name, they will know and they will see, my dad built a legacy and he left it to us. He left us a legacy, a godly legacy that pointed each of us to God. And not only did he point us, but he showed us the way as prophet, as priest, as king, and as a lover, a great lover of Jesus and of us kids and his dear wife, our mom. What are you building, my friend? What are you going to leave behind? There is none among us that is building fatherhood that doesn't need improved skills, improved tools, improved ideas and concepts that help us grow and build beyond, to see beyond where we're going, to offer us encouragement and empower us and equip us with the right resources to strengthen our fatherhood IQ. I want to invite you to our website, fatherseekers.org/fatherfuel. It's a weekly update with information, insights, tools, encouragement, resources, equipping resources, encouragement, directives to help you begin your practice, just gathering wisdom to build your fatherhood, to build your legacy, to leave a legacy for your wonderful kids, for your wife, and for your children's children. That you can do this. There are hundreds of thousands of us doing this now, and we all started just like you, or you may be in the midst and you are moving forward and you are learning as you go, like us all. Use your time wisely. This is Barry with Father Seekers, and this is the podcast, Teach Me to Father.